fellow creatives, hope you're doing awesome and welcome back to Soul Studios. Today we are making Papermache toilet paper clay sculptures. This is going to be a 3-part series because there are air drying time needed in between. Today is part 1. The armature. The armature is a skeleton or a substructure of this sculpture. But before we start, go put on some old clothes, get an apron from wherever, and what are we waiting for? Maybe it's a sculpture. If you haven't subscribed, liked, or pressed the notification bell, then now's the time.
Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome. I'm so looking forward to sharing this lesson with you. What we're going to be making is the foundation or the understructure of the character or the statue or the little puppet that you're going to be making. It's basically just to give a good foundation for the clay that is going to follow. So what we're going to do is we're going to be taking our empty containers. You'll be taking your bottle and cutting off the bottom. Please ask your parent to help you. You can use a scissors or a bread knife. Then you'll be cutting an opening in your yogurt container big enough for your bottle to go through firmly. You can ask your mom to help you. Also think about what type of a statue or puppet you're going to be making, an animal or a person. As you push the bottle through the opening of the yogurt container, try to make it sit firmly. If it won't, or if it's too loose, you can tape it with masking tape to secure the two together. Then you're going to take the empty toilet roll and put it over the top. You don't have to do this, but it is basically going to be maybe the neck of the whatever you're going to be making. Next step is to make the head. Here is an example of one I've already done. So what you need to do is you're going to be taking a piece of newspaper and you're going to scrumble it up into a ball or whatever shape you want your head to be. And then you're going to be placing it on top of either the toilet roll or the top of the bottle that you're using. Now you have a choice. If you have a little white paper bag or brown paper bag handy, you can place that over your newspaper head and then secure it with masking tape. If you don't have a little paper bag or something similar, you can just take the newspaper and secure it with some masking tape. So don't worry if you don't have this handy. Now, for the bottom part of the body, you can use another brown paper bag or whatever paper bag you have and put it inside and then secure it around the neck area with masking tape. Now, if you don't have a paper bag, you can use normal paper, white paper, and just kind of wrap it around and secure it with masking tape. The reason for doing this is because of the next step. We're going to be working with starch and newspaper, and we're going to be doing Papermache application. It sticks easily to the paper bag basically. But if you don't have that handy, you can go directly onto your yogurt and bottle. The Papermache will also stick to that. Now comes the fun part. What does it look like to you? Does it look like a bird with a beak? Or does it maybe look like a funny sea creature? Does it look like a cat with 2 ears? Have a look at what you've created. Maybe it makes you think of something, of what it can become. It could be a person, an animal, a creature, whatever you feel, and you can manipulate the paper to see what can happen. Great, let's start preparing for our paper mache. We're going to be taking a piece of newspaper, and then we are going to be tearing little strips of newspaper that we're going to be dipping into starch a little bit later. This starch dipped in newspaper that we're going to be putting over our character is eventually going to become hard, and it's going to make our armature nice and sturdy and strong so that we can decorate it. It's good to do all your strips, tear all your strips before, so you don't waste time later. Now, I already had starch in my cupboard, robin starch that you can buy in any shop. But if you don't have that, you can use normal wood glue or white glue that your dad might have in his garage. You're going to be mixing that with some water to a runny paste. Then you can use that instead of the starch. But it will be nice if you can ask your mom to get some starch from the shop. It's called robin starch, and you would be able to buy it from any Pick n Pay or Spar, I think. And it's basically a plant product, and in the olden days they used to use it on clothing before they ironed it in order to stiffen certain areas like the collars or the cuffs. Today they actually use it in the industry, in the food industry, as thickeners, and also in the paper making industry they use it as an adhesive. Now let's start. Take some of the strips that you've torn, make them a little bit smaller. You'll find your own way as you go on. You're going to be dipping it into the starch, and then you'll be taking off the excess starch. Make sure that it's completely covered and that you can see that the starch has completely wet the newspaper. We're going to put it around the neck first to secure that area. Start anywhere on your character. You'll find your own way as you go. Now you can see why we needed to tear the strips of newspaper beforehand, because you don't want to stop during this process just to be tearing newspaper up. You want to have a good workflow. This is a very forgiving process. You can really do it any way. You can dip your strips of newspaper in the water first and then into the starch. You can wet your character first with water. You can make it wet so that the newspaper will stick to it nicely. Basically, we just want to cover this whole body with a newspaper dipped in starch. Yes, just enjoy the process. It's nice. Some people don't like the texture of the starch, but I quite like it. It's nice just to play, and it washes off your hands so easily, so don't worry about that. So as I said, you can dip it into the water, then into the starch. As you put it down, make sure that it's nice and smooth. Smooth out all the areas. You can really press if you have areas where you don't want any bumps or indentations. Manipulate the shape, doing this understructure of a sculpture. So think like a sculptor. At first I thought this was going to be a bird, but now it looks like a cat. So just see where it takes you. Gaan jy nou doen? Gaan jy hom 'n bietjie versterk?
Ek gaan sy ore 'n bietjie sterker maak.
You're a real artist.
Hallo
Jy is
Alia.
'n regte artist.
Alia, is it a little cat?
This
Where's
is
the cat?
This is Alia's and Oma's cat. Okay? Ja, kyk hoe plak ons. Look how busy we are. Yeah, we're doing the ears now.
Wow, Alia.
So now the cat is going to dry like this, and tomorrow I'm going to put the nose and the ears and the eyes I'm going to build with this clay that I'm going to explain to you tomorrow. Ooh, ek kan nie wag, dit is môre met die klei gaan werk nie.
Kali, wat gaan jou nou raak?
'n Baie grand fancy smancy vrou.
Oh. Nou, lig jou nou op vir my?
Nog nie.
Hoi.
Nee. Mama met 'n work in progress in.
Dis daai oogie
Nee.
en 'n neusie.
Hoe voel dit lekker?
Way beter. My brother is a Hulk.
'n Hank, bedoel jy?
Hulk.